high def now.
Hello,
Oh,
I'm in high
shit.
def. Welcome to another episode
Hello.
of an interview with my best friend podcast. I finally figured out how to press.
Now in total high definition.
I thought last time was high definition because I was using my new camera, but turns out I forgot to click the high definition button, so I was not in high definition. Anyway, hello everyone. How are you doing? Today canonically is Thanksgiving in the year of our Lord 2021.
Oh God, please let it end. Maybe 2022 will be our year. Maybe 2022 will be good. But we keep saying that every year.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them are going to stick, but we can keep hoping.
I mean,
right? Something has to change eventually.
We are going to Europe next year, so
that yeah. Is next year? No, next year's not an election year. We just got Biden.
Yeah.
I got scared there for a second. I thought next year's like midterms or some bullshit like that. But you don't come here to hear about that boring shit.
You come here to hear us talk for some reason.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know why, but we love you for it.
So Josh said, yeah, I love you too. Josh said he's got some questions for me. I'm terrified because I know how these things go.
Yeah. And it's it's some fun questions, just some light questions, nothing too serious or anything like that. Okay. We'll just start off with like the first question that's on this list. Is cereal a soup?
Oh no.
Now I know the way that you and I eat it, it's definitely not.
Yeah. So for those
but the way that the majority of the population eats it.
So I would argue that no matter how you eat it, cereal is not a soup unless you cook your milk on the stove and make it hot and then subsequently put the cereal, like you would have to cook the milk first and then put the cereal in after.
Yeah, you have to warm the milk, then throw the cereal in. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Now here's my main point. One, that would mean that you have to pour the milk before the cereal, which most people don't do.
Disgusting.
And if you do that, then you're in the minority. And I don't know if I want to.
You're in an even bigger minority than Hayden and I, who don't use milk for our cereal.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I want to despise you or date you to see what your life is like.
Just to see what other weird shit you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. If you
probably do sock shoe too.
If you pour your milk before your cereal, send me a DM. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, Josh and I don't eat milk with our cereal. Like if I'm feeling like frisky, I'll have a glass of milk on the side. But no. I'm not gonna ruin perfectly good cereal.
No. Like I don't know the last time I actually had like milk by itself. Like really? Like I'll like milk and other things, like milk and coffee and stuff like that. That makes sense. Like it's like a sweetener and everything. But like milk all by itself, I cannot remember the last time I actually had that.
Oh,
I don't know. It seems like I don't know. I don't like milk. The taste of milk all by itself.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Sometimes I get a hankering for it. Like, I feel like it's really connected to one particular instance. So I'm gonna use like my inside out, like, brain here.
Yeah, take us through the thought process.
You know when the fucking marble rolls into your brain and then it like displays, and it's my marble for me wanting milk is I remember like being a child in my grandmother's house, and she would always like have a glass of milk next to my dinner for me. And so she would be like, Hayden, you have to drink your milk or you don't get XYZ, whatever it was that day. Like I couldn't have X if I did not consume the milk. If I did not consume the cow's nectar, I would not get that thing.
Cow's nectar.
But good question.
It's a fun, nice question to start off with. We're gonna move on to the next question I have here, and it's how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Okay, so we're dealing with like, I feel like you just asked how many goblins would kill a Tarrasque. And
in essence, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and the answer, I think, wasn't it like 300, 500, something like that?
It's something stupid like that, yeah.
It's something like, it's ridiculous. It's like 500 or so goblins. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody did the math on Reddit or some dumb shit like that. And basically they said, like, if you like use probability to determine this, then only like a certain amount of goblins are gonna.
Goblins have like, don't goblins have like pack tactics too?
Yeah,
or something
they do.
like that.
That's
like,
the only reason that they can break the Trask's armor class. But I feel like we're asking the same question just applied to the real world, because first of all, a group of chickens are not going to inherently attack an elephant. It's just not going to happen. So
the elephant has to be like lying down or something like that.
Yeah.
And like look like a meal to the chickens, or look like something that the chickens would eat. And chickens will literally eat anything. So I mean, nothing's off the table for them.
Ideally,
they'll eat chicken nuggets.
Ideally, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Ideally, you would want to paint the elephant yellow, like so it would look like a corn kernel.
Yeah.
I think that's like probably the most ideal scenario. So,
oh no, Hayden, you're gonna get blocked by PETA twice.
Oh God, I hope so. So for those who don't know, back in 2019, I was blocked by PETA's Twitter account because they made that absolutely disgusting comment about Steve Irwin. And so I went on a fuck PETA challenge that only ended up lasting 10 days, where every day I would find a YouTube video or an article of Steve Irwin just being the absolute best person alive on the planet, and basically like ostensibly disproving everything that PETA was saying about him. And then I would finish that tweet with hashtag fuck PETA, and then hashtag fuck PETA challenge. And then nobody else did it. I will say, for a challenge, it didn't catch on. It was just me.
It didn't catch on, but
it was enough to get them to block me.
Yeah, they were like, okay, I'm sick of this little bitch. Get out of here. He's not giving up. Why would you talk shit about Steve Irwin of all people? There are like so few like absolutely pure human beings that have existed on this planet. Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, Steve Irwin. Like, who would ever say anything bad about those people? Like, I don't.
People say that, like,
I don't get it.
You know, like, oh, what's the eighth wonder of the world? Is it King Kong? Is it fucking the Eiffel Tower? No, it's fucking Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin, the eighth wonder of the world, because he's the kindest and bestest person that ever.
And his kids are like doing the same thing as what he was doing, and I love it so much.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely nuts.
Back to the matter at hand.
Yeah, so
chickens killing elephants.
Are you understanding the mental gymnastics that we're already having to perform here just so that we can get the chickens to attack an elephant? So that being said, I would say it would
paint it like a corn kernel.
I would say it would take a small army of chickens, like
a small platoon for sure.
Oh no, a platoon is far too small.
A large platoon, to be sure.
A platoon is only like a set number.
A very large platoon of chickens.
All right, I'm gonna defer to your civilian knowledge here.
What are some fun and interesting alternatives to war that countries could settle their differences with?
Squid Game. You can televise it. You can televise it. You could televise it. That's 3 good reasons why I think it'd be good.
Marketing.
Think about like okay, check this out. So it's like me. I'm in the Navy, right? It's like me, and then instead of my uniform like being normal, I just have like this giant Nike check mark because I'm sponsored by Nike. And then I'm just like, you know, doing like tic-tac-toe or some dumb shit. And I have like a patch that says like Red Bull or some shit. Like I just got all these like sponsors all over my uniform. And I'm like going toe to toe with somebody. We're playing tic-tac-toe. Let me tell you, I'm halfway decent at tic-tac-toe. I think that the other person would get shot.
Unless if they're from like like Korea or China, like they might have the ability to it would be a really good game, I think, because there's a lot of very smart people from those countries.
Yeah, but then I would
unless it's North Korea, then you'd kick the absolute shit out of them.
Yeah. And if it was like China or North Korea, then I would just show them a printout of the Declaration of Independence, which I keep on my body at all times. And then I would just show them that, and they'd be like, oh, and then they'd have to forfeit.
I think, oh God, you just hit me off guard so hard with that Squid Game. I had something, and then I haven't watched it, but I know like the premise of it and everything. And I know Mr. Beast just like released his like real life Squid Game thing, and I'm like, dude has too much fucking money.
Yeah. He needs to be taken down a few pegs.
He at least like will like redistribute a lot of his money, so I'm less like I like him more as a rich person than I do like the Bezoses and Musks and Gates of the world. Like those guys are just hoarding wealth and then dunking on Bernie Sanders on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I would say but also like Bill Gates kind of ended malaria a little bit.
Yeah, so. Bill Gates, I have less problems with.
He doesn't get a pass, but he's less problematic for sure.
He's on thin ice.
Yeah, Bill Gates, if you're listening to this, you're on thin ice, buddy. You better get some new ice skates, buddy.
Listen, I'm in Spokane. I'm a 6-hour drive away from coming to your house. I think he still lives in Seattle.
Is he the one that has the X-wing in front of his house, or is that George Lucas?
That's probably George Lucas.
Okay. I know
although Bill Gates might also have one.
I know somebody, like some celebrity has a fucking X-wing. Like,
you know who I know it's not? Harrison Ford. He fucking hates Star Wars.
Really?
He is not like, I wouldn't say he hates Star Wars, but like he's just like, I don't.
He
hates the character. He hates the character of Han Solo at this point, and was so happy when he died.
He's over it, dude. I would be too.
Over it.
If I was an old man and I was that hot, I'd be pretty over it too. Anyway, so what were you gonna say as an alternate, going back to the war thing?
You know, I think we should just have like the Coney Island hot dog eating contest, but with the world leader. Like we would have Biden, and some like Britain would have Boris Johnson or whatever. We would win with Biden because he is the throat goat.
I don't have a comment. Can we talk about? Listen, Josh. I have never in my entire life said this, but can we please talk about Donald Trump? I'm not allowed to talk about
Donald Trump would fucking kill.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about contest. I'm not allowed to talk about the current president. I am allowed to talk about him, but I just don't.
It's probably best that we don't. But if we were to go back to former presidents,
but I can shit on Trump all day.
We would sweep the floor with every president that has ever happened, because they are Americans. They've had hot dogs for sure. Some of those other countries, they might not know what a fucking hot dog is, and then we explain it to them, and they think they're gonna eat more of those than we are. No,
they don't even know what it is.
We're red-blooded.
There's no way.
Red-blooded Americans. We're gonna eat those goddamn hot dogs.
That's what I'm saying. So if we do the Coney Island hot dog eating contest, that is the Hayden stamp of approval, and the only one for Trump 2024, because I know for a fact that he not only would eat the most hot dogs, but then he would get confused and he would see his own fingers, and then he would fucking eat his own fingers because he's confused.
That's true.
And I just want to see that. So it's really just selfish of me. Although I want to put out the very, very important caveat. I don't think that would be worth 4 more years of Trump.
It's very true, because he would just go to every country and be like, I'm taking you over. It's like, no, you're not. It's like
hot dogs.
No, you
hot
have
dogs.
to see. We're gonna eat some hot dogs, and then we're gonna see who's who.
Hot dogs.
We would conquer the world for sure in 4 years, but at what cost?
If I wasn't explicitly clear, I was joking.
Have you seen Dune?
I have not.
Okay. Well, there's a character in Dune who is just like pretty much the personification of gluttony, and he's like just huge, and he like floats around because like his legs don't work or whatever. Trump would literally turn into that after 4 years of eating hot dogs, constantly taking over countries.
Oh yeah. So okay, I need to watch Dune, and you need to watch Squid Game, and then we'll come back and we'll
reconvene.
We'll reconvene on this topic.
Squid Game or Coney Island hot dog eating contest, which will win?
We'll let the people decide.
So if you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes or anything else, how would you prove that you were from the future?
I wouldn't die of the bubonic plague, probably.
True.
Like, wouldn't I have like all these like natural built immunities that all these like MLM moms are talking about?
You would have a lot of like natural resistance, but the bubonic plague is
I know it's still a thing.
Bacteria in nature. Yeah, it still occurs every now and then. You probably, if you got it, you probably wouldn't die from it, but it's actually just treated with antibiotics anymore. It's treated with like penicillin and like those kind of antibiotics.
I just realized that wouldn't exactly prove I'm from the future, because they'd just be like, oh, he's just lucky he didn't die.
He's a witch.
Well, so I would probably like figure out what year I'm in and then wait for like a major historical event, and then I would just like predict it. I can't concretely tell you what that would be, but I would figure it out.
That's fair. I wouldn't try and prove that I'm from the future. I would just go and kill Christopher Columbus.
But also, like, maybe if I predicted it, they would think that I'm like a witch or a wizard or whatever the equivalent is, and then they'd put me to death.
Oh wait, when did Christopher? Oh no, I'd be way too late for Christopher Columbus. Damn it, Joshua.
Really? 400 years?
Would it be?
Oh yeah,
it'd be 16. Yeah, 1621.
Oh my god, that was so long ago.
Right. But would we just spawn like at our current location? Because then you'd be in Hawaii.
Oh fuck.
I would just I would set up settlements out here in Washington, because I don't think any European person would have any idea of what Washington would be. But I wouldn't want to take. I would gather like the Native Americans and be like, yo, there'd be more people like me that way. Go kill them.
So I would be about 150 years, more than that. I'm just roughly saying I'd be about 150 years before the colonists reach Hawaii at all. So I would die before I could.
For sure.
I would die before I could prevent the colonization of Hawaii, which I would do if I was sent back, because we shouldn't be here.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, that would be crazy, because then I don't even know. I'd probably die, if I'm being honest. I don't think I have the survival skills.
So let's keep the 400 years into the past thing. Yep. We'll keep that caveat. But we'll take the no clothes thing out of there. Like, you have like some clothes, like you have like 3 days of clothes. And you can take any other 3 things with you. What would those be? And there are things that you already own, not like, well, I would take a fucking like nuclear device. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's gotta be something I own. Okay. Definitely no electronics because I'd be fucked.
Yep.
Like instantly. I would take. Oh man, that's tough.
I can let you think on it because I have two of
Yeah.
my three.
Yeah, you go.
So I would take a lighter.
Okay.
At least initially, like a lighter initially would be a lot of help. Um, I have it's not sharp right now, but I could sharpen it. I do have a sword that I could take with me. And then let's see. Oh, I have like this might sound stupid, but it'll help in the long run. I do have like a big thing of uh pretty much like all season like seasoning salt and everything like that. Like
Okay.
no, like it would help. Like
Yeah.
like it would help me like be able to like stomach like eating some things too.
I don't think it'd be that bad if we went back. Like 400 years, I think would be okay as far as food. I mean, the flavor, you're right, it would not be great. But I don't think it would cause any like gastro problems at all. Okay, so I would definitely also take a sword because I have too many of those.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty easy and portable.
Are you taking your fucking claymore with you,
No,
or
it's too
a more manageable sword?
It's too big. Yeah, I'd pick something much more manageable. Probably my short sword. It's just like it's the most portable. It's the sharpest. It's probably the most sturdy. Just honestly the safest bet. I would take. Oh God. A backpack.
That's a good, yeah.
And then I would take probably like a comprehensive, like like not super in depth, but like history book. So I could be like I said, like I could be like, when the fuck am I? And what's about to go down?
I'm gonna change my last thing because you made a good point. We'd probably be fine with food. I'm gonna change that last thing to part of me wanted to be a troll and bring like one of my D&D books to be like, I'm gonna invent TTRPGs before Gary Gygax can. No, I'd probably I would bring oh wait, I do have a book about Alexander Hamilton. I could be like, yo, when this guy shows up, just be a dick to him. Don't let him get anywhere. No, I'd probably bring a backpack though. That's a clutch move there.
Yeah, I was just thinking like initial survival needs. I'm gonna need to carry some shit. And then forget like so we have 3 days of clothes. It's established. Cool. Mm-hmm. What is like your like primary like what's the first outfit that you're gonna grab? I want to know.
So it's probably gonna include this hoodie because this hoodie is really fucking nice and comfortable and keeps me really warm. I have shit. I don't really have a lot of like most of my pants are just like jeans. But I mean those will be fine. And then I also have my leather jacket that I have. Like those are like the main clothes that I'm bringing are those. Like that's my shit. And then I do have a good pair of boots too that I would definitely take with me that have insoles.
Oh.
And if I am spawning where I am, I'd probably want to beeline it for the other side of the country.
Honestly, yeah, that's true. For me, I think it would be so I would have to take my boots just because I don't like them, but I would need them for sure. And I'd probably take my black boots as well, like my black navy boots, just because I feel like those will fit in the best because they're made of like leather and metal, which is like not weird. Basically, I don't want to like stick out right away, like if you're like looking at me from a distance, like I kind of don't really stand out. I'd probably
I would for sure stand out.
Yeah.
I don't even really care. I'm like, I'm going for like my max comfort, and I'm going to be spawning in a pretty chilly part of the country.
Yeah, I'd probably be wearing like, I don't know, didn't they have like weird colors back in the day and like all kinds of crazy shit?
I think it was kind of like muted sort of colors, just because like the dyes and everything. Like
I don't know if it was muted or if that's just how it's portrayed. Like I honestly don't know.
That might just be how it's portrayed. Yeah, we wouldn't know. Yeah,
I would wear I'm actually wearing them right now, but I would wear my maroon joggers.
Nice.
Just because they're warm and they're like, they look good. And then also my leather jacket. Hell yeah. Because it's got like the poofy like fur kind of collar, which looks badass. And like, okay, so picture me like my black boots, red joggers. Fuck the shirt. I don't care what shirt I'm wearing. I'll just probably pick my favorite shirt. And then my fucking leather jacket, and then I have a sword. Like, are you kidding me?
We'll just say we spawn like together at like the same place. That way, like we're not trying to fight for survival by ourselves.
Yeah, I think that would,
dude, honestly, we'd take over the fucking world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd start in Washington, but we could make it to the other side, maybe.
I mean, the fucking what are they called?
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, no. The people on the Oregon Trail, what are they? The pioneers.
Yeah,
the pioneers did it. They're a bunch of pussies. So
yeah, they don't have all these natural immunities that we do.
Yeah, and we already know America, like generally speaking. We don't need it. Well, we still need a guide.
Oh fuck! I'll bring a map. Like that instead of the backpack. Like I do have a map here. I know I have a map here somewhere. Like we'll just tuck that in your bag, and boom, we're fucking good. That's how we'd prove we're from the future. We have a map of the continent.
I just realized like kind of fucked up a little bit because we literally didn't say like we would bring anything of value, like we could bring jewelry and then sell it.
That's true. Well, I wouldn't sell my rings.
Oh, I would. I don't give a shit.
Well, I know you would.
Well, but Josh, what if we needed the money?
I know. I'd give him this ring. I wouldn't give him this ring away.
I'll fashion you another ring out of...
This ring is just stainless steel, but they don't have stainless steel. So is just...
I will forge a ring for you. Okay, so actually,
thank you.
That reminds me. So I actually tweeted this like a really long time ago, but one of my dreams is to do like some kind of like vacation or something, but instead of a vacation, it's not really that. It's like I go into the woods somewhere, like somewhere really obscure, like Scotland or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned the way of the blade, like from like step one all the way, so
for sure,
making my own sword, like learning how to use a forge and all that, and then like learning how to fight with it. Like if I could I don't care how long it would take, like 6 months, like a year,
mm-hmm.
I don't care. That's one of my dreams, is to do that. It'd be so fucking cool.
Be fucking awesome. Yeah. I would love to learn how to like actually like fight with a sword, just because it's such a cool, like swords are so fucking cool. Like
we should bring so much
cooler than guns.
We should bring back swords.
Like guns are lame.
Fuck drones. Fuck tanks. Like who needs that? It's like, okay, so we got 2 armies, right? And instead of them like shooting each other and fighting and everyone dying, just like the leader from one army and the leader from the other army, they just do a sword fight, and whoever wins, they're like, yep, that side wins.
Boom, we have a new thing for how to settle our differences.
Yep. We should bring back dueling.
But only with swords, not with guns.
Yeah.
Like, guns are lame. Like, why do people love guns so much?
Hashtag make dueling great again.
Speaking of athletic feats, as in like sword fighting and everything like that, what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Oh God, do you have your answer? I need to think.
My say would be golf. Because some of those guys would get so fucking belligerent about like how like if they just miss a putt, I can just imagine like just by like a little bit, they would be like they would throw their club like into the air and be like, fuck, what the fuck is going on? Why don't you want to go into the fucking hole? And like, if the crowd was making any sort of noise while they were putting, they would just stop and turn around and like just yell at them to shut the fuck up. It would be hilarious. It would get me to watch golf. I think the commentators would be different. They wouldn't be all whispering and everything like that. They would also have to drink the mandatory amount of alcohol to commentate on the golf, because then it would be just amazing. And you get like some Australians to do like the commentary. Perfect. You got yourself a perfect sport there.
Yeah. I would say paintball.
Yo.
Because like everyone's all about like tactics and like aiming, you know, like
it's just gonna be a huge Halo fucking match.
Exactly. Like I've been training, like I'm such a good shot. I have a fucking scope, or however, whatever the fuck you do. I don't give a shit. And then instead it's just a shit fest where everyone's fucking drunk, shooting each other with paint. And then every single player has to have a different color paintball so that you know who shot what. So then at the end of the game, you could be like, Jimmy over there shot like 6 trees, but he didn't shoot any people.
Like it would cycle like which alcohol they have to get drunk on, because like they all do different shit to your psyche and everything.
Oh my God.
One day you're like whiskey drunk, the next day you're wine drunk.
That's a fantastic idea. Like that's
amazing.
That's a next level, Josh. Like holy shit. What an improvement.
So the last question that I have on here that I think is worth asking is, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Oh shit. Okay, I love, first of all, while I stall, I love peanut butter, and I had a blueberry bagel with peanut butter on it this morning for breakfast.
Sounds lovely.
Do you have an answer for this? Because
I don't. Like, I saw this question as like we were like catching up before we started recording, and I like my brain just fucking like gave up. It was like, what the fuck?
So
I don't know.
I think peanut butter is it's just perfect. It's just like,
it is a very good name. It's a literal descriptor of what it is.
It is literally like, if you go and buy peanut butter, you know exactly what you're buying. Like it is like as advertised, no shit. But oh man.
What if you called it nut paste?
Nut spread.
Nut spread. Let's go.
Okay, so when I was on my last deployment, I was out with the Royal Navy, and they have this spread. Have you ever been on a Delta Airlines flight?
Yes.
You know those Lotus like cookies that you get, and they're shaped like this?
Yes, yeah.
So in Europe and I'm pretty sure it's all of Europe, but it might just be the UK. It might just be a UK thing.
Might just be the Brits.
Yeah. They have that cookie as a spread. So yeah. So now let me tell you.
Now that sounds good.
I'll put when I edit this, I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see. But and if you're listening to audio, then just keep listening. I'm going to describe it to you. Fucking idiots. God damn.
You know how it works.
Yeah. And so it's essentially it's these cookies, and they've figured out the recipe for how to make this into a spreadable, like peanut butter like consistency, and like holy shit.
Dude, that sounds so fucking good. Like holy shit.
This spread fucks so hard. I cannot tell you. It just absolutely I'm like, why don't we have this in the United States? Like, are you kidding me? This is so good.
Amazing.
It is amazing. And they like even tell you like, oh, you could put this shit on anything. It's so good. It's like, yeah,
like, I believe you.
I believe you. Like, absolutely.
Oh my God.
So that's just,
like, I look forward to those like fucking biscuits when they bring them out on Delta.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yeah. So it's like biscuit spread. So that's where I got the word spread from, was that. So thank you, Lotus Biscuit Spread, for that. But we would call peanut butter nut spread.
Nut spread.
So we actually didn't have peanut butter on the deployment that I was just on, because
disgraceful.
It's fucking Royal Navy. Like, we had Nutella though.
What? They don't have peanut butter in the UK?
I mean, they have it. They have it. They just don't use it like we use it.
Deceitful and churlish.
But they do have Nutella, and they have the Lotus spread. And
I guess that's fair compensation.
It honestly is. Like, honestly, half the time
if you get like
the shit out of Nutella.
Like if you had like just like 2 slices of bread and you put Nutella on one side and that like biscuit spread on the other, like that would taste so fucking good. Like that, holy shit.
Yeah. Yep. Dude. But yeah, so I think nut spread is probably the best answer that I'll be able to come up with.
We could go with peanut paste.
Peanut paste is also
you get that alliteration.
Not a big fan of the word paste. However, I do. The alliteration makes it better. It makes it palatable. PPP.
Because then you get a PP and J. Oh wait. Oh wait. Wait a second. Wait, you could have a peanut paste and pickle sandwich, a PPP. Because there are some people who like that.
Of course. No. Just no.
Just no, please.
Or
don't.
So my easy cop-out answer would be like, they would come up with some name for it, and then that it would just adopt that name, like Coca-Cola. Everyone knows what Coca-Cola is, you know? So it would just be the peanut butter version of that. But that's a cop-out, so I'm not going to answer that. But it would be something catchy like, I don't know, like nut spread.
Nut spread, let's go! I love nut spread. That is low-key amazing.
Because then it doesn't have to be peanuts. It could be any nut.
That's true. Well, that was the last question that I wanted to ask for now off of this list. We may come back to it. We may circle back to it at some point.
Yes. So now we're going to answer a fan question. So we asked you on Twitter and Instagram, what should we talk about? And our friend Katie on Instagram asked us, what is the best nonstick coating for a pan, right? Is that the question?
Yeah. What is the best type of nonstick pan coating?
Yes, the best type of nonstick pan coating. Okay. So, Josh, I'm going to let you answer first because I am about to go so balls deep into this question.
You're about to go nuclear on this question?
Absolutely.
So for people who know me, they know that I don't like cook all that often, and because of that, I just use like the Pam like cooking spray on my pans because I'm like it's pretty cheap. And it's what my parents have used for forever. So I'm just going to use that. So yeah, that's my short answer. I didn't really have, I'm not going to go nuclear on this. Hayden, what have you got for us? You seem to be shaking in excitement.
I would like to split my answer into 3 phases.
Okay.
Two two of which I hope are very, very, very quick. And the third one, it probably will not be. However, phase one. Josh, there's nothing wrong with Pam. I love me some Pam. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a great choice.
Cool.
Okay, phase two. While I was on deployment, I have to bring this up. I'm sorry, I just have to.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Some motherfucker that was in my house. Okay, so I let my friends stay in my house while I was gone. Huge mistake, because I came home and my favorite nonstick skillet, it's like somebody took a fork and they took the pan and they were just like,
oh, I will clarify that probably wasn't anybody from Spokane, so I think they're safe. I don't see any reason why they would have used your pans, because they were eating everywhere else.
I don't know. All I know is that I left for deployment. I got back, and my absolute favorite nonstick skillet was destroyed. Like, it looks like so I bought this nonstick skillet like probably earlier this year, and it looked like I had had it for 10 years.
Jesus.
It was that bad. And
bro,
just like coming home to that, I was so upset. Anyway, if you're listening to this, do not buy me a nonstick skillet. I've already replaced it. I bought two.
for just in case.
I already bought two more just because I can. Fuck you. You're not gonna like pull some shady shit where you
can't take this from me.
Yeah, you're not gonna beg for my forgiveness by buying me another nonstick skillet. It's not gonna happen. Anyway, don't use metal on nonstick, please. I beg you. If you're listening to this and you didn't know this, just don't do it. Metal should be nowhere near nonstick. Absolutely not. Use wood or use plastic. I don't give a shit. But don't fucking use metal. I will come to your house and I will sing you a nice lullaby because I'm a nice person. But I'll also yell at you.
I'm gonna use metal on all my appliances now. I'll be right back.
But I'll also yell at you, which is bad.
But you'll be here, so I don't care.
Okay, I'll send a hologram.
Got you, bitch. No, fuck.
Yes. Ha. Okay, now phase 3. It depends. So I would say the vast majority of the time, you're going to be okay using Pam. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Pam. It's perfectly edible, perfectly good, does the job, never fails. Love me some Pam. Now, I would like to convert you, if you would allow me, to
I am allowing
unsalted butter. And the reason is it works the exact same way. So nonstick, it's already inherently nonstick, right? So you don't really have to do a whole lot. However, putting Pam or butter into the mix just essentially like doubles or triples the effect of nonstick. So it's like shit will just slide all the fuck over the place. And that's what you want a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So like I said, nothing wrong with Pam. It's easy. You just, that's it. However, unsalted butter, then you get that flavor. You could even brown the butter a little bit before you do it. And that just brings whole other levels to the table. And then, for the kind of like nicer dishes that you're cooking, like if you just like generally want stuff to taste better, choose butter. And
yeah, that makes sense.
I know that, there's some people out there that their diets don't allow for butter. And to that, I say that's perfectly okay. You can use a butter substitute, or you could use like, whatever vegan like coating, or, you could use whatever, any of that stuff.
Yeah. Whatever you use in place of butter.
Yep. And then there are also some recipes where you could substitute even the butter, and maybe you could make a version of that recipe with any kind of oil. Like I would probably go for like a neutral oil that doesn't have taste. And then obviously you could use olive oil, but just know that that's not a neutral taste. If you put olive oil on something, you're gonna taste it by and large. Also, just so you know, you probably don't know this, but if you're cooking at a high temperature, you don't want to use olive oil, because then you could bring some like carcinogens into play there. So I would just use like a more neutral tasting oil. But I went nuclear on it. That's my spiel. If you can if it's in your diet,
I learned things.
Butter, use butter. Absolutely. For example, I made banana bread like 2 days ago. And so instead of using Pam, I took a stick of butter and I just rubbed it all over the bread pan. And then, because usually you just spray it with Pam and then you dust some flour in there and then that's it. Super easy. But instead, I literally like stuck my hand onto a stick of butter and I just like rubbed the shit out of the pan.
Yeah. And
then I did the flour and same effect, but it's just like,
that sounds great.
It's just that little extra like level. It just takes it just one level up a little bit.
One level up, like just like it's the next tier. That sounds great. No, I might start doing that. I might start recommending to Becca to do that too.
But the reason I said, this is my final point on this, then we can wrap this up. But the reason I said unsalted butter, because some of you are probably wondering. So for those who maybe don't cook a lot, there's salted butter and unsalted butter, and they have distinct uses. I would say 90% of the time use unsalted, and here's why. You can always add more salt to your taste, but once you over salt something, there's no going back. It's done. So that's it. It's really that simple. And follow this podcast for more cooking tips.
For more cooking tips from Hayden.
But so thank you to everyone for pitching us questions. We're gonna try a new system where we kind of answer one at the end of every episode.
Yep.
I think this is episode. This is gonna be episode like 16.
Something like that.
I
think so.
We have 4 more left in this season, and then we're gonna take a really, really big break for season 3. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you.
Thank you all for commenting and doing all the other stuff to get those entries. We love you guys.
Okay, love you so much.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.